soulmate?
It's like a best friend, but more. It's the one person in the world who knows you better than anyone else. It's someone who makes you a better person. Actually, they don't make you a better person, you do that yourself. Because they inspire you.
Imagine that you are 25 years old and more than half of your life, 18 years to be exact, you spent it with this one person by your side every single day. Some people don't even get to experience this type of relationship in their lifetime. A relationship where someone other than you knows exactly who you are by knowing all your thoughts and characteristics as if they are you. A relationship where you automatically share every single detail of your life just because you want them to be included, even though it has nothing to do with them. A relationship where you can't imagine a life without them because they are intertwined and part of every single aspect of what makes you you. But nothing lasts forever. Although I thought we would be an exception, the end that I thought would never come to us was inevitable. So here's a story of why I am breaking up with my best friend. Every good story starts with how we met, so let's go back to when I was in 3rd grade. Honestly, we weren't friends at first. She was a new student who ended up with a different group of friends, and I don't know why, but there was some kind of tension between us. I think we eventually talked it out, or time just proved that we were being ridiculous, so we soon became friends. I grew up in a small city at a small international school, so you could imagine that the community was pretty tight. From 3rd grade to senior year, we were in the same class, same school, same friends, same life. We witnessed each other's teenage years of getting braces together, doing projects and homework in the library, staying after school to eat snacks and just gossip, practice dances for school events, show up at school wearing PJ outfits, sleeping during breaks, getting dolled up for socials and prom, teasing each other about boys, judging each other's boy preferences, preparing for bake sales, sending out roses during Valentine's Day, cheering at sport games, dressing up for Halloween, secretly passing notes and giggling in class, complaining about teachers and homework, you name it. We literally did everything a teenage kid would do together. Everyone went their separate ways once we graduated, but not us. We ended up moving to the same country, same university, and same major. We didn't plan it out like this on purpose, so now that I look back, it honestly feels like there's such a thing as destiny, because how many people can say that they went to the same elementary, middle school, high school, as well as same university and major together? But back then, we didn't put much thought into it, and we're just happy to have someone close by when adapting to a new environment, especially the Korean society and culture we weren't accustomed to. As if going to the same university wasn't enough, we ended up living together for the next 4 years. Our first home, now that I look back, I can't believe my parents were okay with me living there because it was super dingy and sketchy. But since ignorance is bliss, I was very happy and content in that tiny shoebox of a room because it was my first ever home. Although we had separate rooms, we were constantly in each other's space and excited about the fact that we were living together. When we both had the desire of moving, it never occurred to us to go our separate ways, and instead we looked for houses together. Each move was an upgrade from the one we had before. Each home had its own flaws, like having no living room, having mold and cockroaches showing up sometimes, but we didn't care because living together made up for all the nasty things. We would always end up rolling around in my room, eating delivery food and watching shows on my small laptop screen on the floor, randomly making TikToks, scrolling on our phones in silence together, updating each other on our day. None of these routines changed even when we moved into our 3rd home together. We kept up on each other's schedule, asked when we would be home, dropped by the store to buy random snacks or groceries for each other, so amidst our busy schedules, we always ended the night updating each other on how our day was. Honestly, that was the best part, having someone to come back home to, knowing that someone was waiting to hear how my day was with excitement, no matter how mundane and small. My favorite memories of us aren't that grand. We were young, dumb, and broke students to begin with, so we couldn't do anything extravagant anyways, but our friendship proved to me that happiness lies in the simple things. When I think of us, I see us hanging around our neighborhood, going on late night walks while eating ice cream same, eating at the same restaurants and cafes we always go to, and just staying at home watching shows with delivery food, laying on the floor in silence while watching TikToks on our own, and rolling over to show each other if something funny comes up. Every season, birthdays, holidays, Christmases, we automatically asked ourselves, what shall we do together? Because there was no other people we wanted to spend them with. It really felt like us against the world. In the beginning, when we said we'll be living together, many were worried that we would end up ruining the friendship because being friends and living together is a whole new level. But even after 4 years, there was never a reason to not live together because that's how naturally we fit and got along. It made us closer than ever because by knowing her since teen years, I thought I knew everything about her. But living together, there were so many new aspects I learned about her. I learned that we were actually complete opposites in everything. I love shorts and tank tops in the summer while she hates the sun and always wears covered up clothes. I love meat while she loves fish and vegetables. I always plan and work ahead while she does everything last minute. I love expressing and confronting my feelings while she likes to push thoughts away and avoid them. I put importance on having a community while she wants to be left alone. With all these differences, it doesn't make sense for us to get along, but the main thing this friendship taught me is that you love not because, but despite. Despite her not cleaning the bathroom, shedding hair all over, giving me one-word answers during conversations, being too lazy to get out of the house, there was never a day I regretted choosing her to share my life with because having each other was enough. So when did things change? It all started when she left on a working holiday to Australia. Our living together era came to an end, and for the first time in our lives, we parted our separate ways. But it wasn't that devastating because I knew she would be back in a year. Our long distance friendship stayed strong with calls and messaging, and we had fun in our respective places, learning to live without having each other physically present. But the biggest factor that changed it all, she met a boy and fell in love. It was strange thinking about how my unromantic friend, who is antisocial and liked being independent, was falling in love with the boy she met in Australia. But her new relationship didn't affect me much and our daily rhythm because I wasn't there in Australia having to witness it, and they were long distance once she got back to Korea. So if I really wanted to, I could ignore the fact that she was in a healthy relationship with a man other than myself. We no longer lived together, but we were in the same neighborhood. As now we were both in our working stages, whatever free time we had, like the weekends, was dedicated for our late night walks, cafe hunting, staying home to watch shows and chill. From starting with who gets to play what on the playground in our teen years, we have now entered our mid-20s, where we were talking about wanting to burn down the office and not wanting to go to work. Before I could get used to this new change, the biggest one came at the beginning of this year. She got engaged. I had the honor of knowing she was going to get engaged before she did. All of us were heading to the Philippines for a mutual friend's wedding, and so her man thought it was the perfect timing to propose during their reunion. He bought the ring from Korea, so asked me to bring the package with me. It was so surreal seeing the ring in front of me and giving him advice and suggestions on how to do the proposal. Proposals and weddings tend to have a hold on especially women, since society teaches us at a young age to dream and fantasize about our happily ever after. So knowing that a life-changing decision was waiting for her, it was a lot of emotions for me to process. My initial reaction was that she's not ready. She has always felt like my child, someone I need to protect, so knowing that she was about to become a whole wifey, someone with a husband, that's another level of adulting and commitment, and I just couldn't imagine her holding that kind of responsibility. I couldn't help but feel worried and overprotective. Some may think I might have been jealous since she was getting engaged while I was still single, but there was absolutely no feelings of jealousy from my side because I knew they were right for each other, and I knew that this day of getting married, having a husband, was going to come eventually because that's how life works. But although knowing that there are things you can't control, that life and time waits for no one, getting ready to embrace those moments is a different story. And I guess I wasn't ready to accept the fact that my friend of 18 years, who has walked the same path as me, was now taking a turn to a different direction I couldn't follow. I know it's not, but I couldn't help but feel like I was being left behind, replaced, while she was moving on. She's just getting married, big deal. You may think that I'm being over dramatic, and I agree. I had to ask myself if I was overreacting with all these mixed emotions. But here's the thing, you know that saying that a top-tier man is just an average woman? A man who protects, provides, listens to your stories, validates your emotions, respects and encourages you, does the chores, is willing to understand and change, and communicate properly are qualities of an average woman. And this is the type of connection I shared with her. The biggest reason why I was never lonely or had a strong desire to find a man is because she provided emotional support, what most average men couldn't. Especially since we both lived in Korea away from family, it felt like all we had was each other. Whenever I was sick, she was there to get me meds and feed me. Whenever I was anxious, she was there to tell me everything was going to be okay. Whenever I felt lost, she was there to remind me of who I am and what makes me a good person. Whenever I felt insecure, she was there to boost my ego and prove how far I've come. Whenever I was sad, she was there to cry with me. Whenever I was happy, she was the most excited for my successes as if they were her own. Whenever I felt tired, she was there to take naps or just sit in silence with me. Whenever I felt bored, she was there to make me laugh till I couldn't breathe. 18 years of being by each other's side, she's like my human form journal, real life biography, because there's nothing she doesn't know about me, nothing she didn't experience with me. I used to secretly judge girls who would cry at weddings or engagements, cause what's the big deal? But now I take it all back, cause as the day of her flying out of Korea was coming closer, my heart literally ached knowing that the life I built in Korea around always having her to rely on was about to crumble and disappear. Unlike boys, girls tend to form friendships that can cause attachment issues because we're so invested and intertwined into each other's lives. So take a moment and imagine with me being intertwined with a friend since 8 years old. This lifestyle I was accustomed to, having her by my side all the time, was coming to an end and there was nothing I could do about it. It might sound very overdramatic and cheesy, but I really don't know how to live without her. People keep telling me you'll visit and see each other again. You can call and text all the time. But that's not the same, is it? From spending every free time, every weekend, birthdays, holidays together, her moving away meant my routine of having her to rely on and be with was instantly over. I can't and don't want to imagine my life here in Korea without her because she was part of all of it. I can whine and cry about it all day, but I also believe that if you really truly care about someone, you have to learn to let them go and be happy for their new chapter. I can't control these life changes from happening in our lives, but what I can control is how I face them. So as she packed up her life and left on August 4th, I did my best to face our goodbye with grace, support, patience, and positivity. To my best friend of 18 years, thank you for a friendship of a lifetime that only... Oh my god, I'm actually crying. Ooh, okay. Oh wow, okay, that's a little embarrassing. I'm like crying alone in my room recording for this YouTube video. Oh my gosh. Okay guys. I'm sorry. Let me just... To my best friend of 18 years. Thank you for a friendship of a lifetime that only a few are lucky enough to experience. Thank you for the 18 years worth of happiness and memories that I will always look back on whenever I need to be reminded of who I am and what makes me confident. I always say this to you, and I'll say it again for the record. Although nothing lasts forever, you will always be my nothing. So, with my free will and freedom of choice in every universe and lifetime, I will always choose you to be my best friend. 난 항상 너의 편이고 뒤에 있으니까 아니다 싶으면 알지? 빠꾸. 언제든지 빠꾸해. You will always have me to fall back on, so don't stop yourself from living adventurously. 나의 10대랑 20대를 기억해줄 사람이 너라서 나는 너무 고맙고 행복했어. 행복해. I say it with so much love as I close this chapter in our lives. Goodbye.
subscribe, click the link below. If you like this video, please click the like button. That'd be great. Give us likes and comment below who your best friend is. I'm really curious about who your best friends are, so please do. Okay, bye.